Okay, let's continue the project. So in the last video, I was going through and we were trying to go and accomplish this semantic search, but first we need to vectorize everything, okay? So that's what I am attempting to do right now is figure out how do I get the data from the database, vectorize it, and then store it back in the database, okay? So we wrote two methods. We have the generate embeddings for all videos. We have this method here, and we have this method here, which is create vector from video ID. So this is more singular. And then this one down here is going to be create, just saying like, oh, for all the videos in our entire database, just vectorize and get that into the embeddings. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to, how do I want to move forward actually? Do I want to add more videos and then try to vectorize the videos? Or do I want to try to vectorize the ads? Okay, I think what I'm going to try to do is I have my two functions here. I will run them in, I'll run this one, like generate embeddings for all videos. I'm going to run this one from my program.cs. Okay. And then from that, I'll see if the embeddings worked. Maybe that's how I will go about doing this. I wish I could just like call this function and have it run. I'm wondering, do I put this? I can't just run it as like an SQL script. The way I'm thinking about doing it is running it through my what? Program.cs here. Okay. App.run. I'm thinking about just like putting it here or something. I'm not sure. Let's ask GPT about what it thinks. So come here and here is my class for the database connection, and now I am at the stage where I have some videos that I want to vectorize, but I'm trying to figure out how do I actually perform this operation because I need to run my program, and it seems like I would need to just put generate all video embeddings as a method call in my program.cs before the app.run line. What do you think about this, and how would you, as a professional software engineer, perform this operation of creating the vectorized data? Okay. So, I would advise against putting a heavy processing method like directly in program.cs. Uh, oh, I should have said like, oh, I was planning on putting it there and then just deleting it, you know? Doing this would block your application from starting for potentially minutes while it computes. Okay. If you later deploy this to a cloud environment like Azure or AWS, the platform might think your app has timed out. Okay, that makes sense. The professional approach, I hosted service. The best way to handle this is create a background worker or hosted service that allows your web app to start instantly while a separate thread wakes up and processes the vectors in the background. Okay, so I think it's going in a different direction than what I was actually trying to get it to do. I think it was meaning like I permanently put it there, which is not what I'm indicating. But the topic that it is talking about right now is actually kind of interesting because it's saying something that which I haven't heard or that I don't know too much about, but I have heard about, which is workers, these worker objects. Okay. So if I stumble upon a interesting piece of information, an interesting tool within software engineering, I'm gonna want to try to investigate it, right? So okay, let's look at it and let's investigate it. The best way to handle this is to create a background worker for hosted service. This allows your web app to start instantly while a separate thread wakes up. So it's kind of like multi-threading, okay? Okay, fine. Here's how you would structure it. So, public class vector initialization service, background service, okay? So it inherits from background service, okay? Private read only, iService provider, okay? Then we have a constructor, iService provider, and logger. Okay. Vector background worker started. Okay, so we have this execute with a cancellation token, stopping token. Quite honestly, I'm not sure what we're doing right now. We need to create a manual scope because add engine is likely scoped. What does scoped mean? Tied to DB context. Okay, fine. Using var scope. Service provider create scoped. Okay, what? Var data service scoped. I have no idea what's going on here. Add engine data service, which is what? Is it the name of this class? No, it's not the name of this class. Await, generate, and then call the okay. Architecture remaining to add engine data service. You're absolutely correct about the naming. Oh, it's a campaign cache. Okay, so it changed my campaign cache class to be this add engine data service. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering, like, where on earth did this add engine data service come from? I was so confused. Like, oh, why are we customizing it for this object? I have no idea what this object is. Okay, now that's making a little bit more sense. The other lines in the code don't make sense. Oh, okay, now it implies that it only handles caching for campaigns. Since the class is now the brain that coordinates Postgres, Redis, and embeddings. Okay. Okay, is much more accurate. It follows the service layer pattern. Okay, so there's something called service layer pattern too, which I don't know what it is. We're kind of getting a. Let me make some. Oh, where did my pen go? I'm trying to make some notes so that I can remember some of these really cool like tools that we're happening upon, and that way I can investigate them later and try to bring them into my toolbox as a software engineer. So let me actually just write these down before I forget about them, or we move on and then I'm not able to get them anymore. I hosted service for background worker. Okay. So I hosted service uh, for background worker. Okay. There's one. And now the other one was service layer pattern. Okay. Service layer pattern. Okay. That was another one. Where your controllers don't care where the data comes from. They just ask the service for it. Okay. Concept. Why this service scope matters. In your code, you use appdb context. In .NET database contexts are usually scoped. Okay, well, I don't know what scoped means. Meaning, oh, should read the next line. Meaning they are created and destroyed for every single web request. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But Redis is not, right? This, or because a background service lives for the entire time the app is running, a singleton lifetime, it cannot directly use a scoped DB context. That's why in the code above we use iService scope factory. Oh my goodness. Like I feel like I happened upon a lot of new stuff that I didn't really know about. Okay, scoped. Here's another one. Scoped. To create a temporary room for the database work to happen safely. Implementation checklist. Interesting. I don't know. Do I want to rename the class to this? Okay, move the embedder. Instead of using var embedder here inside the loop, make it a private field in the class so it stays in memory as we discussed with the singleton pattern. I don't know about that. The reason is because when I'm running this in normal situations, I'm not actually going to need to use the embedder. It's only when I need to actually add things to the database, which is not going to be that often, right? I don't know. Register the service in program.cs, add this background service, wait for the next step. Okay, now that your data is vectorized, you can perform a semantic search. This video explains how to manage database schemas and background. Okay. So actually, I think I might not have explained my motivation fully in the prompt above. I am trying to accomplish the vectorization of my database for the videos and the ads, but I only really need to do it one time, so I don't actually need to do it every time my program starts up. But I do need that specific AI model to be able to vectorize it, so I can't just start the service by itself, and I need the database connection. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, how do I perform a one-time operation that doesn't degrade the quality and the memory usage of my overall project. Okay. That makes perfect sense. In a professional software engineering, we call these admin tasks or data migrations. You want to use your application's existing logic and database connections, but you don't want the task to be part of normal web request flow. Yes. Um, since you only need to do this once or whenever you add new bulk data, here are 3 common ways to handle this. The ad hoc endpoint, easiest for development. You can create a temporary hidden controller endpoint. Once your app is running locally, you can hit that URL once in your browser or via curl, wait for the console to finish, and then delete the endpoint. Okay, okay, okay. I didn't think about that. That's okay. Yes, I get that. Yeah. Okay. Um, it's extremely easy to trigger. Cons: if the task takes 10 minutes, it's not going to take 10 minutes. At least I hope not. Because I only have, I think, one video. I think I literally only have one video, but we might need to add more videos and then we'll see. I just want to see, like, does it even work? Does the vectorization even work? Okay, even though the server is still running in the background. The command line flag, most professional. In a standard, this is standard pattern for job execution. You modify your program.cs to check for a specific argument was passed when you start up the app. If the flag exists, it runs the task and then immediately exits without ever starting the web browser. Okay. So in here, what we would do is we would get our builder, get our args, okay? And then I would do check for seed vectors, okay? Right, okay. Do not run app. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay, so yeah, I have scoped in there. I wrote that down, so I will keep that in my mind. So within program.cs here, I should be able to, where would I do this? Create scope. So apparently I've done this create scope before. Okay. App here. Var builder, okay. If args contains this, that flag, service equals scope service provider, get required service for add data service. Okay. Console write line, sure. Await service, generate embedding for all. Okay. To that service. Interesting. Okay, so let's write this here. So I'm guessing it's going to be above this because we're not actually doing this this thing. So we have here, and now I want to check input arguments to see if we need to seed the data for vectorization of the ads and videos. Okay, like this, and now I say similar to this, using and then var scope is equal to, oh, it doesn't like that we have the same thing down there. app service create scope. Services dot create scope. Okay, like this. All right. Yeah, it should be fine. Doesn't this mean that it's going out after this context? So it should be fine. And then var service. Okay. Service is equal to this scope variable. Again, right now, I don't know what this is doing. Get required, what? Get required service. This one? Okay. For which object? Right now we are calling it, is it appdb context? Campaign cache. Okay. Now I can do await service and then the name of the app. So await service dot, and then I am looking to trigger this one, right? Generate embeddings for all videos. Okay. And then eventually it will be await service dot, and then generate embeddings for all ads, for all ads. Okay. So eventually we're gonna have this, but we need to do that check, right? Like, what was it? If args is equal to, so I'm gonna say if args is equal to, or contains, okay. If args dot contains, like this, do we need to specify? No. This, then run this. Okay. Okay. But now I need to run this from Docker. I should have done the web one. I should have done the web one. Okay. I just realized that I can't use the command line argument method because I need to run this with Docker Compose. I just realized that I can't run the command line argument method because I need to run this program with Docker Compose, and I need the other Docker containers to be alive during this interaction, including the Postgres container. Okay. So maybe I do the web one. It's a common scenario in containerized environments. You need the full context of the infrastructure, yep, but you only want to trigger the heavy work on demand. Your solution is to use Docker Compose run. This command allows you to start a new temporary instance of your app container that connects Okay. Start your environment. Run normal Docker Compose background. Okay. Then start the web app API. Okay. Then Docker Compose. Interesting. Okay. So what happens? Docker Compose runs, tells Docker to look at your Docker Compose YAML, find the service name Bitengine, and start a new container based on that service configuration. Automatically deletes this temporary container once it finishes so it doesn't clutter your system. Okay, networking. Okay. So what I might do now is Docker Compose build. We'll let it compile. I have no idea if this is going to work. The way that I'm going to try to verify it is I'm going to look into my Postgres container and see if those items are all set to 0. So maybe I'm a little bit choppy. I don't know if I'm actually fully back. But yeah, so the way that I'm thinking about actually seeing if my application worked is I want to go and check Postgres and see, okay, is it actually having the, like, all of the items 0.15? Because that is 0.15 is what we initially stored all of that information as. I don't know why this is taking forever to build. I'm just seeing if I am, like, glitch so long. Oh my goodness. I know that my computer doesn't have much RAM at all, but it's like this is unreasonable. This is very unreasonable. I don't know what's going on to compile my code. My computer is not like hot. I'm just moving my head to see if I glitch out. What is going on? Why? It's taking over a minute? Look at that. I don't know. There we go. Okay. I'm afraid to do Docker Compose up. New terminal here. Okay. Now here. I need to do Docker Compose up. I'm afraid to do it because it's going to my computer is not going to like that. If it didn't like compiling, I can't even imagine what it's going to do when I try to do Docker Compose up, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. Let's go. So far, I'm not glitched out. I saw a little bit of glitching, but... Okay. So far, so good, I think. See if we're able to ping it from Safari. I will refresh it, see if we get the ads. Okay, so we do get ads. Everything seems to be working. Good. Now what I want to do is come in here. I want to do this one, which will run, and then remove the old one. Okay. I want the Docker Compose here. And what did we call it? Bid engine? Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I am going to go run bid engine, and this should work. Let's try. So did it crash? I'm not sure. String unknown token. Okay. I don't like the look of that. Unhandled exception. Could not find a part 2. Oh, we forgot to do the return, didn't we? Yeah, we forgot to return. Okay. Well, we can Control C out of this, and then Control well, this one already stopped. Okay. What? What does this mean? The fix. Update your Docker file. Why? Nah. What I'm actually gonna do is git commit or git add git commit. Saving my work before I use Copilot. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is come in here and we're just gonna use Copilot to do our stuff. So I want, right now I am trying to utilize the one right here. Method to test and see if I'm able to successfully get a vectorization from the videos in my SQL Postgres database, period. But when I go to run this code, I am getting a crash, period. Your job is to find out why I am getting the crash. No, it is to fix it. Your job is to do what? Fix the code such that I am able to successfully save all of the vectors which are created by looking at the description and vectorizing them, period. Okay. Make sure that it is successful. Okay, there we go. And I can move myself so that we are able to see what happens. Okay. Always allow. Always allow command. Yes. Okay, so to make a Redis connection non-abortive, so seed vectors can run even if Redis is not available, add defensive logging. Okay, whatever. What did it change in program.cs? It doesn't seem like... So far, this is just within the embedding, or the part where we're actually like doing the argument finders. Right there. Okay, so it's building it again. Hopefully this doesn't take as long as almost 2 minutes last time. Okay. It says 2 files changed. What's the other one? Hold on. Bit engine. So no, that's the folder. What's the other file that it changed? It says 81 lines have been updated. I'm not seeing any other file that was actually interacted with, honestly. It's can I open this? Campaign cat. Where's my campaign? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. What is my token level right now? We're at 56. And when does it reset? December 31st. Okay, so we have a couple days until it is reset. All right. I think I need to look into my computer's like memory to see like, okay, well, is there anything in RAM that I can clear up? I know that I have a lot of tabs open, so that might be something I need to clear out, but shouldn't be this long though. And I know obviously because I'm filming a video, that's also probably gonna cause it to be a little bit less than ideal, but that's fine. I need to charge, I realized. And then, let's see. The other thing is, Susie is driving back to Seattle now, so I'm going to make sure that she's doing okay. Alright, so she hasn't gotten there. I just wanted to make sure that, see, she left at 1 a.m., I think. So, yeah, that makes sense that she's not there yet. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Seed commands like this. Okay. Ooh, what did we get here? Title has embedding. Okay, what's going on there? Okay. What did it change in campaign? Yeah, I took away this. Okay. Try to use the real model if present, otherwise fall back to deterministic embedding. So local development seeding without the model files. What is that supposed to mean? Compute deterministic embedding. No, we want this one. Create vector from video ID. This is different. This is the one that we're looking at. Not found. Well, place model files in .model to use native embedder. Okay. No, this is not. I don't want compute deterministic embedding. That's ridiculous. That takes away everything about semantic search. Like, that defeats the purpose. Then we might as well not do the project, right? So this is an unacceptable path. And we are going to have to change it. We're going to let it do its thing, right? Has it been running this the entire time? Like, what is going on? Can you get out of there? What is happening? Quit. It keeps running this command and then stalling. Okay, like, come on now. Quit. Oh, why is it? I think what it's doing is it's running a command that doesn't have anything in it, right? It's getting back nothing, essentially. It's not happy with that, and it's just like, quit. Come on. Come on. Get out of this loop. And we're back. Quit. Just stop this loop. What are you doing? Pause. We're seated and persisted. The video's embedding is non-null in Postgres. My next step is to ask you how you'd like me to continue. Add native model files to container image. Switch seeding to use native embedding when available, or add integration test to validate. Okay. I'm going to say keep, and then I'm going to say git add here, git commit, and then -m. These are the changes which Copilot made to my project, but I am not convinced that they are the correct path, because if you look at the code, it is saying that we are going to fall back on something which is called a deterministic embedding, which, to my current understanding, would negate the entire purpose of our project of doing vectorization for semantic search purposes between videos and advertisements, period. I'm not sure about the method which you went about in this situation because I am vectorizing these videos based on their description for the purpose of performing a semantic search in comparison to the vectorized description of advertisements. So in your implementation, we fall back on this idea of a deterministic embedding, which seems to defeat the entire purpose. I think it indicates that we must use the actual embedding model. If there is a problem with the embedding model, I want you to fix that problem, not go around it and create a backdoor. Feel free to add sample data points to both ads and videos in my Postgres in order to perform testing. Okay, so what are we on right now? We are on 62, okay? There. Fail unless fallback is allowed. All right. Okay. Embedding options.cs. Okay, so we created this new thing called embedding options. Always allow in this workspace. Okay. Wait, what happened there? Where did my files go? Oh, okay, we're in a different tab. Okay, that's fine. .NET build, always allow, command .NET build. Yeah, that's might crash my system, but you know, it's not gonna hurt something. So it's creating more unit tests, which means more opportunities to fail. Okay. Build succeeded with one warning. Okay, okay. Yeah, continue. Seems like you're on a reasonable path. I'll let you move forward. $64 right now. There's a lot going on. Tests, okay. This thing called options, okay. Campaign cache, there's 58 lines changed here. 45 lines changed here. Docker and Docker Compose, okay. Whew, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Maybe closing some tabs will help. I don't know. Get rid of you. I don't know. Get rid of you. We need you. Okay. Maybe it helps a little bit. Run quicker. Okay, this is just mind numbing. Nothing happening, just build, but it takes forever to build. What? I think it's also, it says no cache, so I don't know if that's, yeah, whatever. Okay, we're on 16. How many were there? What's even happening up here? If allowed deterministic fallback, then we can do this. Else, it was unavailable. Okay, that's kind of what we want. And then we always want this. Same thing with this, yeah. Is they don't. I mean, honestly, I would have preferred it just to do an SQL command to add new data. Like, why did you need to put this in my code? This just bloats things. There's no need for it. Come on now. And we're only on stage 17. is just obnoxious. 18 now. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. 19. Good. I think after this runs, I'm going to try to close out my... I'm going to try to address my RAM. Probably turn off the... What? It's almost 3 a.m. anyways. Fine. I want to keep working on the project, but I should probably get to sleep. What's it doing now? Okay. Okay. It looks like it got an error, so it should go and try to fix that. Okay. Successfully completed. Okay. Oh, great. We're back here. And this just spins forever. This just spins forever. Okay. This is never going to end. Quit. It's the exact same command, right? It's just, it's not able to do these. Okay. Okay, I guess we are going to pause this. It's not going to work. And keep these, okay. But then we're probably going to have to revert back to our old way. Can you analyze what the problem was and give a detailed description as to why I was having problems performing the vectorization task? I don't think that we are on the right track right now, so I want to understand what the initial problem was in the first place. Please give a very detailed analysis. Okay. Try this. Okay. So now I'm going to go like this. And copy this and put it into Gemini. I think you are right here. Yeah. Here is the error which Copilot says that I am encountering. Please analyze what it says and don't tell me directly how to solve it. because first I need to understand the concepts behind it. So teach the concepts and then we can figure out how to solve it together. My computer is way... Alright, so we did this, and now we're going to come and try to understand what the issue is. Probably revert back. How smart applications are packaged and moved into Docker. Your crash is happening at the very first step of your vectorization process, initiation of the model. Here, there's a breakdown of the core concepts you need to grasp to understand how this is happening. The working directory versus the build artifacts. Okay, when you run your code on your MacBook, like your IDE, okay, runs a program on your project folder, the library looks for a folder named models. It finds it because it's sitting there. No, it's not. What is models? What is this? Okay. Commit, and then I'm going to say these are more changes which Agentic Copilot did, but I still think it is on the wrong path. I am probably going to revert back to the previous commit, which occurred right before I asked Copilot to do anything. So obviously this means this is not a failure of Copilot. This is a failure of me. I did not ask it correctly. I did not prompt it correctly. So this is not a problem with Copilot. This is a problem with me. I didn't do it correctly. Maybe it is because I didn't understand the concepts. Maybe it was because I wasn't specific enough. I don't know why I failed to use the tool of Copilot correctly. Okay. The working directory versus the build artifacts. When you run your code on your MacBook, your IDE, the library looks for a folder named models. It finds it because it's sitting right there on your hard drive. I don't think it is, actually. The Docker reality. Okay, so first off, I don't know what you are talking about in regards to the model. What should I do to get a model? Question mark. Do I actually need to go and download some kind of model from the internet and then put it into my solution? Question mark. If so, what are the steps that I need to do to accomplish this? Question mark. Okay. Because I have what? I have models, but this is like campaign test. This is not. If I want to go back to the previous commit, which I made before I asked Copilot to make any changes, but I want to preserve the history of the 2 commits I made along the way when Copilot was making changes. How do I change my code to be back to the way that it was at the commit immediately before I asked Copilot to change anything, but preserve my history? Question mark. I think it's get revert, but there's another one that I want to make sure that I don't use because that one like deletes the memory, and I don't want that. Okay, so working directory versus build artifact here. If you didn't explicitly tell Docker to copy the model folder into the image, it simply doesn't exist there. Even though the library is a NuGet package, many local embedding libraries don't embed the actual mathematical model. Oh, okay. Inside the DLLs because they are too large. They expect you to provide the specific path. Okay, you can't assume the file is just there in Docker, which, okay. I thought when I did whatever NuGet install, it got it for me. Every asset must be explicitly baked into the image or mounted. Okay, the native dependency and absolute paths. Looking at the stack trace here. Okay, the library is trying to open this app model vocab. And then I just want to say, for context, here is my tree. And then minus L for, okay. Copy this, paste this here. Okay. In C#, pathing is tricky across operating systems. Your Mac uses the okay, yeah, Mac and Windows uses different slash, but Docker is Linux. If your code uses a relative path, like whatever, but I don't even have a path actually. The entity framework provider mismatch. While not the cause of the specific crash, your summary mentioned entity framework in memory issues. Okay. In-memory providers are not real databases. It's just a collection of lists in RAM. It has no idea what a PG vector is. Conflicts when you try to save a vector. For database name, see there was sitting. Okay. Let's try to revert the code first. Okay. Most NuGet packages do not include this because they're 100 megabytes. Instead, the library just acts like a player. So I need to go to the Hugging Face repository, the actual neural network, the dictionary. Okay. Put the files in there. Okay, first what we want to do is we want to get revert and then the alright. So yeah, we do not want the other one. The other one. I'm not even going to say this word because I don't want it in my head. Revert, revert. I was correct. Revert is the one I want. Revert, revert, revert. I do not want this word in my head. I am not even going to look at it. I don't know what it is. Who knows? Never heard of that word. Okay? Revert is the only word that I know. get log one line. Yes. Okay. Re-adding the line which indicates entity framework. Hold on. Whatever. Clear. This one. These are more changes which saving my work before I use Copilot. Copy you. Quit. Git revert paste. Is that the thing? Auto merging. Great. What's going on? You actually told Git to undo the changes that happen inside. Verting it didn't do much. To get the code back to the state. Okay, I don't even know at this point. I don't care. Come on, I don't even feel like that tired. I just like, disappointed in myself, honestly. Like I was hoping to be able to do the vectorizations and everything. I just feel disappointed in myself, honestly, about my performance here in this video. Yeah. So I guess in the next video, we're going to go and try to download these models, put them into the location, and then see if we're able to run it. And then, yeah, I'm going to see if I can deal with the memory as well. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I would love to have you around. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and see you guys in the next video.